welcome to this session. Gladly Pallabi is here with us. She did her, let me introduce her, she did her Masters in Gender Studies and RGNIYD, which is in Chennai. Then she was working in this NGO called Shakti Vahini. Some of that experience she's going to share here. This is a particular NGO working in Delhi, northern area, looking at human trafficking, and I will not do any justice to it. That's what Pallabi will do. Now she is in Bangalore, and she is the head of education and programs in this ATMA center in Bangalore. Okay, so Pallabi.
Yeah. Hello guys. Okay, so I will start with showing you a video, because if I just go on telling what is in the slides, you will not get an idea about it. So first of all, please see the video and then I'll start.
मैं 17 साल की। अच्छा हुआ मैं आंध्र प्रदेश के चित्तूर डिस्ट्रिक्ट की भवानी। मैं वहां अपने 5 बहनों और 3 भाइयों के साथ बहुत गरीबी में रहती थी। मैं 12 साल की थी कि मेरा चचेरा भाई एक लड़के को मेरे माता पिता से मिलाने लाया था। उसने मेरे माता पिता को कुछ पैसे दिए और मुझसे शादी कर ली। मैं खुश थी। अमर था उसका नाम। वो मुझे दिल्ली ले गया और उसने मुझसे कहा कि नया घर मिलने तक मैं अपने चचेरे भाई के साथ ही रहूं। मैं अभी भी खुश थी, लेकिन कोई घर नहीं था, कोई फैमिली नहीं थी। मुझे बेच दिया गया था। और मुझे वेश्या बनने पर मजबूर किया गया। मेरे अपने माता पिता और भाई ने मिलकर मुझे बेच दिया। मेरे पति को। कैसा पति? उसकी 12 बार पहले शादी हो चुकी थी और ये मुझे वहां की लड़कियों ने बताया, पर मैंने मना कर दिया। भले ही मेरे माता पिता ने मुझे बेच दिया हो, मैं इस देश की बेटी थी। मैंने साफ मना कर दिया और सजा भी मिली। उन्होंने मुझे मारा, भूखा रखा, तब तक मारा जब तक मैंने उनकी बात नहीं मानी। मेरा कई बार बलात्कार किया गया। मुझे 5 बार बच्चा गिराना पड़ा। मुझे HIV हो गया और फिर एक दिन मैं मर गई 17 साल की उम्र में। मैंने कहा ना, अच्छा ही हुआ। क्या होता अगर और कुछ साल जिंदा रहती? 25 साल तक, 35 साल तक? क्या अलग होती मेरी जिंदगी? क्या बदल जाता? क्या आप कुछ करते? हाँ? मैं तो कुछ नहीं कर सकी, लेकिन शायद आप कुछ कर सकते हैं। आप कर सकते हैं।
Like the website where I put it. Tell me, can I take a look at
Can I do this with this?
Yes.
If that works. Yeah.
If you want to point it.
Okay. So hello guys. So the thing is that I would like to tell you what is human trafficking. So first of all, for that you need to know what is the term human trafficking. Human trafficking is basically trade of humans for various purposes. Causes of trafficking, who are the victims and who are the traffickers. The 3 P's of trafficking. how can we prevent trafficking, how to give protection to the victims and the prosecution, the different laws and agencies, and what can we do as an individual who is not associated with any law or who is not involved in the trafficking of victims. So this is the slide where you can see how a human is trafficked. Basically, a human is trafficked. There is a way of tricking a human. So you can see that there are children, there are women, and there are men both. But the most vulnerable are the women and the children who are mostly trafficked. It's termed as one of the biggest modern day slavery. And under human trafficking, people are bought, sold, and also traded. You can see the human trafficking in India statistics from the National Crime Records Bureau, which gives you a detail about the percentage of minor girls, women who are trafficked. What is the main purpose of trafficking? Basically, people are forced into labor and also domestic servitude. When you talk about forced labor, it generally happens that how many of us have servants in our houses? How many of us have servants in our houses? Have we ever tried to ask their age, or have we ever tried to know where they belong from? We don't do that, because basically the main issue is the lack of awareness. We are not aware. Second thing is prostitution. Mostly you will see most of the traffic victims are forced into prostitution. Third is forced marriage or bride trafficking. Forced marriage and bride trafficking generally happens in the states of Rajasthan and Haryana. You will see there is a very small ratio of women in Haryana and Rajasthan, not just Haryana, Rajasthan, other parts of northern India, where you will see that there are 1,000 males to 800 females. Due to that, they don't have any girls to get their sons married to. For that reason, they get girls from the eastern part of the country, like West Bengal, Orissa, Northeast. The reasons for getting girls from Northeast is because of the luster of the skin. The girls from Northeast have very soft skin, they are fair, they can be easily lured and then trafficked. Drugs peddling. There is a huge number of kids who are pushed into drugs peddling. I can share my experience. So I was in Nagaland as part of a research operation where there was a family. The mother was a female sex worker, FSW. The father was a drug peddler. And the son was a small child, like around 3 years old. So he was put into drug peddling. I was not aware. So it was around 8 o'clock in the night, and I was sitting. Suddenly I saw that the small child comes. And then the mother lifts up the t-shirt of the child and see that there are notes wrapped on the body of the child with sellotapes. These are not the regular sellotapes that we use in our books and all. Those are big sellotapes. So then I asked the mother, and then she started crying, and then she told me that they use the kid for drug peddling because it's not easy to be nabbed. The kid will not be caught. So the kid starts playing on the border of Nagaland from, I think, 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And it keeps on playing. By the time it is 5:30 or 6 p.m., the kid will cross the border. The moment the kid crosses the border, they will take up the sellotape and pull out all the drugs from the kid's body, which is stapled on the body. And at the same time, they will staple the same money on his body. So this is how a 3-year-old kid is put into drug peddling. And because it's a kid, so nobody will be able to understand that the kid is involved in it. There are child soldiers also. So I can say the incident of Nelly. Nelly is a small place in Nagaon district. So people in Nelly generally say that the sky is very clear because there is no electricity. Like when I was working there, there was no electricity. So there are 2 theaters in Nelly which was used. One theater was used for as a brothel, and the other theater was used as part of an office to make child soldiers. Now you will ask me, what is child soldier? Child soldiers are small kids who are taken from families and taught how to use a pistol or a gun. So there were very small kids, as small as 3 year, 4 year, 5 year, 6 year. I was standing in the bus stand, so a small kid comes to me and tells me that, can you give me your phone? So the kid was talking in Assamese. So I was not able to understand why the kid is asking me my phone. It wanted to click a picture. So I told the kid that I can give you that. Then he told me, if you give me the phone to click pictures, I can show you how to shoot. It had a small pistol on his hand. So that is how I came to know the background of the picture. Then is organ harvesting. That's one of the main things where people are trafficked and their kidneys are taken out, their eyes are taken out. Yeah.
What organization are we talking about when we talk of child soldiers like this?
No, child soldiers, it was a random thing that happened. I went as part of my research work. So there, Nelly is a place where you see a lot of people, they are all school dropouts. They don't go to schools because of the so-called conflict that's there.
I want to know the motive behind this.
The motive behind this is that, you know that Northeast is completely under NSCN, Naxal area, so they have an angst with the government. So what they do is that the moment they see that they have to get soldiers for them, so they take small kids, because when you take a small kid and train the kid, by the time the kid is 16 or 17, it will become a full-fledged person of NSCN or Naxal or anything. Because if you get someone who is 16 years or 17 years old, they know the reasoning thing. They will know what is right and wrong. If you just take a small kid, the kid will not ask you why you are getting the kid involved in that. Hope that answered your query. So what are the causes of trafficking? The first is poverty, which is the biggest problem. You will not find any metro city individuals to be a victim of trafficking. There will be hardly 2 to 3% of people, those who are trafficked, metro people. Only you will see people from interior villages of West Bengal who are trafficked mostly. Illiteracy, main reason for trafficking, because you don't know to read, you don't know to write, so you are an easy prey for the traffickers. Lack of legal employment opportunities is also another thing. When you don't have any employment, you want to earn easy money. And how can you get easy money? You can get easy money only when you traffic someone. For each trafficked victim, you get a certain amount of money. So if you traffic 1 victim, you get 10,000. If you traffic 10 victims, you will get 1 lakh. So this is how the chain of traffickers operate. Then there is this gender discrimination, which is the main reason for trafficking. You will see a lot of girls are always trafficked more than boys. Boys are trafficked for organ trafficking, boys are trafficked for drug peddling, labor, but girls are trafficked for all kinds of sexual exploitation, or mainly it starts with prostitution. The younger the age, the more demand. So when there is more demand, the supply is more. That is how it works. Societal biases also plays a big role. In any family, if you have boy or a girl child, you will always think of getting rid of the girl child. That's how is my personal experience. I would not like to generalize it, but generally it happens that there are 5 children, out of them 4 are girls. They will try to get rid of the girls. In this, I would like to quote the particular tribe in Rajasthan. They generally have this, I would not mention the tribe, that is anonymous. They generally have this trend of putting the elder daughter of their family into prostitution. So the father and the brother are generally her pimps. They will get customers for her and she will be responsible for earning money. But there is a contradiction in this. You will see that the elder daughter is into prostitution, but her brother's wife will not be into this whole trade because of they feel that the daughter-in-law has to be under a veil, but the daughter has to do this. So this is one particular tribe in Rajasthan who have been practicing it for centuries, and it's a tradition. Yeah. It's happening, and if you go to Delhi's red light area, GB Road, if you go to that, they have a brothel designated for only that particular tribe. It's like, and it's not something that people don't know. Even when I asked the daughter, she was like, they were fine with it. Like, it's something they are internalized. Their upbringing is like that. They feel like this is not a crime. They feel that they are born to do this. I mean, they will go on doing this. When you talk about illegal migration, that's also another thing. A lot of our victims are generally,
So, are they being forced into prostitution?
No, in this particular, the tribe which I'm talking about, they are not forced. It's like a kind of training that you are given from your childhood, that this is a family tradition and this you should do. It's not like you have to do, but they choose it. It's not forced. In this scenario, it's not forced. Then there is this illegal migration thing, which is a big reason. There were thousands and thousands of children who were under this whole chain of trafficking after the Nepal earthquake. There were a lot of kids and a lot of women who were trafficked after the Nepal earthquake. There were soldiers, there were army men who trafficked these kids. There were ATM guards who kind of, to get that sexual pleasure from that kids, give them a biscuit. There are instances of that. And ITV has done a big story on that. If you want, I can share the links with you after the presentation is over. Then there is unemployment. Unemployment is one of the big problems. The highest number of trafficking happens as of now in the state of West Bengal.
So, by saying the Indian Army traffic the kids?
No, Indian Army doesn't traffic the kids. I'm talking about Nepal. So what happens, there are a lot of people, those who are, these are not completely army people. These are people, those who are sent there to kind of rescue the victims. So this might be any common man. They go as part of Indian Army like evacuation thing or something. So they go there and they do this kind of things, and this is how they traffic the victims. Yeah.
So, when you talk about these people trafficking kids and all, is this being documented or reported somewhere? Or
This have come as part of NDTV's survey. This have come as part of different research and everything. But the main thing is that they are all anonymous. It's like a research, you know that these people have done it, but when it comes to reporting, you don't know the exact name, or maybe you are afraid to divulge the details. That's why they are not in jail. They are not in jail. This is the reason. Then who are the victims? That's the main thing. Who are the victims of trafficking? This is a data of 2016, which is quite old. Basically, the victims are the women and the children, the most vulnerable. As you know that during war also, the women and children are the most vulnerable. Then tribal people. Tribal people, Manipuris, Mizos, mostly all northeastern states girls are generally Nepalis. Nepali girls are trafficked to UAE, Arab and whole country because they are generally given a little bit of exposure. They are bought, they are groomed, and they are then trafficked. Because in UAE, there is a huge demand for Oriental girls. And it's very easy to fool someone saying that this person is from Korea. You may have a girl from Nepal and you can just groom the person and say that this person is from Korea. This is how they generally try to take advantage of the tribal girls. And the main thing is the promise of better lifestyle and employment opportunities. This is one reason why you can see a lot of girls from Bihar, a lot of people from Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, where there is a lot of Naxal issues. They are told that come to Delhi. Like Delhi is kind of a big city for them. The moment they are said that come to Delhi, they will just pack their bags, not even tell their friends or family, and they will just move. So when they come to Delhi or Mumbai, they know in which kind of a web they have involved themselves in. So in trafficking, there are two types of exploiters. First one is the exploiters who are from the category of criminals and criminal enterprises. Let me tell you, flesh trade is one of the most booming business in any country. After arms and drugs, the amount of money that a country earns through flesh trade is immeasurable. You cannot count it. And a lot of big people are involved in that. So it's not like nobody's aware. It's like it's kind of an open secret. We all know about it, but we don't want to do anything about it. And they, while doing flesh trade, they earn a lot of money, and they kind of profit so much that they don't feel it's a necessity to kind of take some initiative in curbing this. Second are the enablers. Enablers are people, like for example, I may have 10 girls in a truck and the truck is going on a highway. I know that, I have seen that there are 10 kids in the truck, but I don't tell the police, or I am the police, but I'll just let the truck pass. So I am not in direct contact with the traffic victims, but I'm enabling the whole process of trafficking chain. So that is how the exploiters and the enablers are the main people who are responsible for having this trafficking racket. So the vulnerable states, Bihar, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh and Tamil Nadu are the main places from where we have a lot of labor trafficking. You will see a lot of people from Bihar. They come in this train known as Mahabodhi and lot of other trains. I can't recollect now, but main trains that actually bring lot of Bihari children. We had a big rescue operation with Bachpan Bachao Andolan around the year 2015, where around 180 children were rescued together. They were coming as part of a workshop as told by them when we met them, but all of them were rescued by us, and 3-4 other NGOs were there in the Purani Delhi railway station. And on talking with the kids, they were saying that they were coming as part of some workshop where they were promised that they will be getting some skills enhancement training. But then on a longer interrogation with them, we came to know that these kids were going to be put in bangle industry, in making bindis and all that. So we could rescue that many children. And if generally it's earlier, when I started in the year 2012, there has been a big shift. That time the children were 16. And by the time it became 2016, the children were 8 years old. So because what happens is that there is this general tendency that earlier it was like बच्चे बहुत देर से grow होते हैं mentally. But now अभी ये है कि because net है, internet है, phone है, so बच्चे बहुत जल्दी grow हो जाते हैं. तो जितना जल्दी हो सके उनको you involve them in this kind of thing so that they don't know what is right and wrong. The moment a kid understands that this is wrong and this is right, so they will try to voice an opinion. So in order to stop them, this is how they try to. So kids as young as 8 years are also put into trafficking. Yeah, all the industries. If you look at bangle industry, if you look at bindi industry, if you look at making shoes, because what happens, when we are grown up, our hands are not soft. When we are young, it is very easy. Our hands are very soft. The kind of work that we do, and we are not even paid. We can just pay 10 rupees to a kid. If you go to a tea shop, if you have a person who is 18 years old, you have to pay 10,000 maybe, or 2,000. But if you have a kid who is 8-year-old, then you can just offer him 10 rupees. And you can you can just say ki jao type. So this is one reason that children are highly in demand in this particular. So when you talk about Bombay, Delhi, Haryana also, I don't think any. I can say that there are almost all the states.
Any labor inspector can shut down the industry.
Yeah, labor inspector can. Yeah. So we have, what happens, I'll tell you how it works. We write a letter to the police station, local police station, saying that यहाँ पे 10 बच्चे काम कर रहे हैं. Police will go with us. We will go with the police. बच्चे rescue हो जाते हैं. उसके बाद क्या होता है? We try to repatriate the child. How to repatriate the child? उसको किसी shelter home में डाल दो. फिर उसको CWC, which is Child Welfare Committee, उससे उसकी counseling करा दो, घर भेज दो. अब problem क्या है? There is this Juvenile Justice Act. I don't know how many of you know about it. So there is, under which there is prohibition and regulation of child labor. उसमें what happens? See, there are 2 ways of child labor. एक ये होता है forced labor, कि आपको जोर जबरदस्ती किया जाता है. और एक होता है कि आपको करना है, because आपके पास कोई और तरीका नहीं है कि आप 2 टाइम का खाना आपको मिले. So that is also another way of how a child is put into it. अगर आप forcibly उससे करा रहे हो तो फिर आप you are under this whole thing of that rigorous imprisonment. You will be given 7 years of rigorous imprisonment or lifetime imprisonment. But आप एक छोटे बच्चे को अगर बोल रहे हो तो वो बच्चे को जब स्टेटमेंट दोगे वो बच्चा बोलेगा कि मुझे तो खाना नहीं मिल रहा है तो मैं क्या करूं, मेरे घर वाले गरीब है, मैं क्या करूं, यहाँ पे अगर काम कर लूं तो मुझे पैसा मिलेगा, मैं खाना खा सकती हूँ, तो मैं क्या करूं. So what happens during that time, the child welfare committee will be like नहीं, आपको शेल्टर होम में रहना है, आप बच्चे हो, आपको हम रेस्क्यू करा दिया. बट द प्रॉब्लम इज दैट शेल्टर होम में वो पूरा लाइफ रह नहीं सकता, उसको अगेन यू विल सेंड द चाइल्ड टू होम. फिर क्या करेगा वो, फिर उसको दोबारा वो रिट्रैफिक होगा. देयर आर हंड्रेड्स ऑफ किड्स हु आर रिट्रैफिक्ड अगेन एंड अगेन बिकॉज ऑफ दिस. Because the government of India has had a lot of laws and amendments and regulations, but actually there has to be some method in which you try to repatriate the child in a way that the child will not come back into labor. But there has not been any strategic move like that where the child has never returned. The child has always returned. That is how is the scenario. Then when, about sex trafficking, I already said. So West Bengal, very sorry to say that, I am a Bengali, but then during my first rescue operations, I was kind of always asked, are you Bengali? Like, they have this, the police in Delhi have a very different kind of interpretation about Bengalis. They feel that Bengali people are always trafficked, but the reason is not that. Bengal has a history of being under huge poverty and debt, due to which you can see that any girls who are trafficked are mostly Bengalis. 90% of girls are mostly Bengalis and they are Bengali Muslims. The Bangladeshi immigrants, those who come all the way from the border, are generally trafficked. And it's very easy to lure them. You just give them a chocolate and tell them, come to Delhi, they will go. You tell them that the another trap is to fall in love. Every boy tries to call them up through random wrong numbers. There will be random calls a girl will receive, and then she will be told कि railway station में आ जाओ. The girl will come to the railway station. Then the girl will be told that let's go to Delhi. The girl will go to Delhi. By the time she is in Delhi, she is in the brothel of Delhi's red light area. So this is how it happens. Generally, girls from Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand are not pushed into prostitution that much because they are believed to have very hard skin, which is not in demand in the market. They are not fair. That is another reason for them not to be into prostitution. And the third thing is that they feel that if you take a Bengali girl or a Mizo girl or a Manipuri girl and a girl from Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, the customers will be less because customers tend to like a girl before telling that girl that they want to take this particular girl. So this is one main reason that you will hardly find any girl. It's not like there is no girl, no ratio like that, but there is always a higher percentage of Northeastern and East India girls. The demand of East India girls is huge, and also because they are gullible, they don't resist that much. If you force someone, they generally give in. This feeling of giving in also makes them highly demanding in the market. Maximum 18, maximum below 18. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, mostly 12, 13, 14, mostly. 16 is also considered as an adult. So you can see mostly 12, 13, 14. Yeah, and what they try to do, the moment they get these girls, they try to make these girls pregnant. Because the moment they are pregnant, they will look like a big, like above 18. And they try to have the child, separate the child from the mother. So a 12-year-old girl is put into prostitution, she is made pregnant, the child and the mother are separated. The mother is always threatened again and again saying that कि अगर तुम ये काम नहीं करोगी तो तुम्हारे बच्चे देखने को नहीं मिलेगा. Right? This is how this emotional thing happens. So that's how she goes on doing this work. First by force, second by will, and that also because there is a constant fear and compulsion. Yeah. But Yeah.
Any customer then is involved in statutory rape. If the girl is below 16, she can't.
Yeah, so but how will you find out? How will you find out that the girl is below 16? Because now what has happened in the red light areas, generally they have a voter ID for all the kids. So it's very difficult to find out if the girl is a kid. How will you find out? No, they generally what they do, they try to get girls 12, 13 and 14. So they don't bring the girl in front. They will generally put them in tunnels. I will show you a video where I had rescued 8 girls. So most of the girls looked quite aged, like 20 plus. If you just see the video, I'll just show you. Then you will feel that, I'll just show you the video.
They're already there.
There. Yeah, tell me.
Police has no other means of ascertaining the age.
Yeah, police tries to do one thing. Police tries to reach to the local school to get the certificate. But the problem happens is that most of the time, by the time the local school sends the documents, it's quite late. So generally, out of the number of hundreds of victims that I have rescued, I could only repatriate those victims where the information came from the parents, or maybe from the High Court of Kolkata, or maybe from a DIG, or maybe some police, because they have the information, that the child is a minor. In the FIR, it's written that 16 years of age, kidnapped on this day, and in Kolkata, it's not a DD entry. In Kolkata, if you go to any police station, they will not do daily diary entry. They will do GD, general diary entry, first thing. Second thing, in any police stations, if you go in West Bengal, they will not lodge an FIR. They are very, very hesitant in lodging an FIR. They say that idhar udhar hi gayi hogi, mil jayegi, ba ekhane okhane ghureche, like kind of that. And by the time the FIR is done, the girl is somewhere maybe in Bombay, and it's impossible to trace that girl. And the maximum rescues happen only when the girl calls the family through the customer's phone. Otherwise, how will you find out that the girl is in which brothel, under which madam? So this is something I will show you.
1 second. This is a video, right?
Yeah.
1 second. So, 1 second.
जा रहे हैं वेश्यावृत्ति के दलदल में फंसी एक लड़की की कहानी। सैकड़ों लड़कियों की तरह शिल्पा को भी अच्छी नौकरी का लालच देकर दिल्ली लाया गया था, लेकिन यहां उसे बिठा दिया गया दिल्ली के बदनाम जीबी रोड के कोठे पर। शिल्पा को आजाद कराने में उसके एक ग्राहक और एनी टीवी इंडिया और दिल्ली पुलिस की क्राइम ब्रांच ने अहम भूमिका निभाई है।
एक और छापा दिल्ली के बदनाम जीबी रोड के एक कोठे पर। लड़कियां जानती हैं कि जब पुलिस और उसके साथ टीवी कैमरे आए तो उन्हें क्या करना है, कैसे करना है। पुलिस भी जानती है कि उसे तलाशी कहां लेनी है।
नीचे से, हाँ, ये ऊपर होगा।
इसको तो तोड़ना पड़ेगा।
तोड़ना, हाँ, यस।
इसको तोड़ो। इसको तोड़ना पड़ेगा। इसको कोई बुलाओ, उधर से बोलो इसको तोड़े। नीचे बुलाओ, बोलो इसको तोड़े।
देखते हैं नहीं?
नहीं, बिल्कुल सामान की तरह पड़ी हुई है। ऐसे लगता है सामान रखा है ना।
इसके अंदर कुंडी होगी इसके नीचे, ये नीचे वाली साइड पे कुंडी होगी, तो स्लाइड करके नीचे आए होंगे ना, तो कुंडी नीचे लगी होगी। हाथ डाल ले।
अरे तू लाइट दिखाता रहा भाई, ऊपर है, हाथ बचा के।
ऊपर कुंडी,
ऊपर भी है, ऊपर भी है। अच्छा बच्चे, तुम हट जाओ।
कौन है? इधर आ जाओ। अरे परेशान मत हो, इधर आओ।
रुक जाओ, ऊपर कर देते हैं। सर हटना, सर
आ जाओ। अरे डरो मत, आओ।
अब सिर तो हटा लो।
देखिए कितनी है,
देखिए
कितने
यही है। चलो
आराम से
चलो।
यही है यही है
दो हो रहे हैं हट जाओ प्लीज हटो प्लीज
चलो कपड़े
अरे तू रवि इतना मेहनत करवा रहे हो अरे सर हटो सर मुझे अभी आ रहा
सुबह होते ही यहाँ पुरानी जिंदगी लौट आती है। इन सीखचों के पीछे से लड़कियां अपने ग्राहकों को
So we got 8 girls from this rescue operation, and all the girls looked like how do you think how much were the age of the girls? Yeah, it's Delhi's red light area. It's a famous red light area, GB Road. So it's in Shraddhanand Marg. If you get down in the Ajmeri Gate metro station, then it's just 10 minutes walk.
How can it be famous?
It's quite famous. Like GB Road is famous. Like see, all the red light areas in India are quite famous. People know about all the red light areas, and it is something absurd to say that. By the way, prostitution is not legal in this country. India doesn't identify prostitution as legal. But I consider it as a legalized thing. Because it's not possible that the government of the country and the police is not aware about such an organized crime happening in the hub of the city, any city. If you go to any red light area all over the country, you will see that the red light areas are generally 10 minutes walking distance from the railway stations. So everywhere, you go to Ganga Jamuna in Nagpur, you go to Kabadi Bazaar in Meerut, you go to Mala Shahi in Orissa, any red light areas you tell me, you go to Falkland Road, you go to any Kamatipura. I have visited mostly 95% of all the red light areas in the country, and mostly all the red light areas are known to police, are known to the government, are known to everyone, every law enforcement agency you can think of.
Yeah, maybe the age thing if you would answer. So, there are two different issues. One is a question of sex work, which is a separate issue. The other is a question of trafficking of children, which is a separate issue.
See, I would say that both are similar. This is what you may beg to differ, but I personally feel that every sex worker that I have had a conversation with, aged sex workers as 60 years old, they told me sex work was never by choice. It was the first time was always forced. They never wanted to do sex work. Maybe now they do it because there is no other choice left to them. Maybe because of the craze of earning a lot of money. Because just tell me, so I was in Ministry of Women and Child Welfare. So there was this particular women minister in the year 2015. So we were sitting and discussing about legalization of prostitution. And I was completely against it. So they were asking me, what is the reason? I told them, if you legalize prostitution, there is no way you can rescue minors, because once you legalize prostitution, then the brothels are the homes of those sex workers. Like I can't come to your home suddenly anytime in the morning or night and tell you कि मुझे घर ढूंढने छापामारी करनी है. You will not allow me. Same way, no sex worker will allow me to go inside the house. First thing. Second thing is that if you look at any brothels, there will always be women as aged as 30 or 40 who will be shown to you. Whenever you go to any brothel, first thing, अगर आप ऐसे कस्टमर बन के भी किसी brothel में जाते हो, तो आपको हमेशा एक बड़ी लड़की दिखाई जाएगी, कभी छोटी लड़की नहीं दिखाई जाएगी. जब तक उनको ये बिलीव नहीं होगा कि you are trustworthy, तब तक वो नहीं दिखाएंगे कि उनके पास कोई छोटी लड़की है, क्योंकि उनको पता है it's an organized crime and it's illegal. That's one thing. Second thing is that, as you said about sex work, I had interactions with more than 500 sex workers during my work as well as research. Everyone told me that whenever they came into sex work, either because someone from their family sold them off, or because they were jilted in love, or because घर में कोई नहीं था, पता नहीं था कि क्या करके कमा सकते हैं, तो इस धंधे में आ गए. So this is how it is. Obviously, a lot of people now do it. Yesterday, one of my friends had written an article in West Bengal about how girls from very good colleges are getting into sex work to earn money, like pocket money. That is a different concept. But if you look at sex work or human trafficking, I personally think it's completely related. You may have differences in opinion, but this is what I can say.
I have a question about how does the law view the victims? Do they
Are prostitutes also criminalized, or
See,
are they tried as criminals?
no, see, if you do it like, what is ITPA? ITPA says that you can be a prostitute, you can earn money by selling your own body, but you don't have the right to sell anyone else's body and earn money. That is a crime. You can do anything with your own body, but you don't have the right or the ownership of somebody else's body. You can't operate like that. It's not possible. So that's why it's a crime. A lot of people are trying to make it legalized, and they may have their reasons for making it legalized, but I'm completely against legalizing prostitution, because I always feel that minors will never be rescued if you legalize prostitution. And then now they have found different methods to make minors look as an adult. They will give hormonal injections. So I was kind of searching for a girl for around 2 years, and I had an information that this girl was in the Kabadi Bazaar, Meerut red light area. I visited Meerut red light area, I couldn't find her. I visited GB Road, I could not find her. It had been 2 years. Yeah, tell me.
I don't understand, if they want the girl to look older, why not just go for older? I mean,
No, you don't understand. The pleasure is less. This is how the mindset that works. If you have older women, you cannot, the feeling is that if you have older women, you will not be able to feel that pleasure or enjoyment the way you have it with the women. Second thing, there is a concept that HIV men, if they get physically involved with a virgin girl, they will be cured of HIV. There is a particular brothel in GB Road, because I am quoting GB Road again and again because the maximum time I have stayed in Delhi. So there are HIV men as old as 82 years going to a brothel in GB Road, getting involved with a girl as young as 14, a virgin girl, because he thinks that he will be rid of HIV. Second thing, in that particular brothel, the men don't use protection, and they are told by the madam. So how the chain works in any brothel. So it will be the brothel owner, then it comes as the brothel manager. Under brothel manager come as female sex workers, that is the FSW. Under FSW comes the madam. Under madam, each madam will have at least 10 girls, and each girl is known as lochi. So lochis are like kicked here and there. So you can have sex for as less as 400 rupees, 250 rupees, 200 rupees. There is a book written by the founder of Sun Lab. If you get a chance, please read it. It's known as Mothers for Sale. So please read that. You will realize that people have sex for as less as 10 rupees. This is how is the scenario there. Tell me.
So you were talking about ownership of someone, like your own self, your own body. And it means that it's very difficult to rescue women after 18 because they can always come up with.
No, it's not. You cannot say that it's difficult to rescue. If they want to be rescued, you can rescue.
But they are like in some way molded into the.
Yeah. They get addicted. They get addicted, I tell you.
It becomes very.
Yeah, it's not addiction for sex, okay? It's addiction for money. What happens? So I was telling you this story. What happened? We were planning to kind of take out all the sex workers from Delhi's red light area and kind of putting them into rehabilitation. Now, the challenges are, how will you rehabilitate this woman? Because they are all sex workers. If we put them in any work, will the family accept? Will anybody hire her as a cook or a maidservant? No. Women themselves would not hire those women. Second thing, by working in somebody's house, they will get 500 rupees, 1000 rupees. Yahan pe, whole day they work. If they get 250 rupees also, din mein one woman or one sex worker entertains at least 10 customers. So 10 into 250, 2500 din ka. In the same way, agar kisi ke ghar mein kaam karti hai, to mahine ka 2000. So you have to kind of constantly draw that comparison, or they are not educated. In order to put them into any work, you need to make them educated. How to make them educated? Most of them are 7th pass, 8th pass, 10th pass. This is how is the scenario. And how will you kind of put them in any work? And second things, I think prostitution can never be erased from the history of any country unless and until we have a kind of reawakening. Because there is so much of demand. there is so much of demand that is why there is so much of supply. If demand ही नहीं रहेगा तो supply तो automatically बंद हो जाएगा. Yeah.
I just wanted to separate two issues just as you go forward in the talk. There is the issue of adult sex work, which as you said, you might have different opinions on. For example, I think there's a good case for it to be legalized. There is an issue of children who are forced into sex work. That, I mean, even if you feel that they're related, it might be good to maybe just separate them as you go forward. Especially, and my question is, children who are forced into sex work under the new laws, if I understand it correctly, the penalties for every customer are very significant, because if you have sex with a child who's under 18, you know the child is under 18. That is statutory rape, and now I don't know, it's life imprisonment or even death sentence. So there's a so I'm just trying to understand why we can't use those.
The pimps are never arrested, no. In US, the customer is also not arrested. The customers, generally what happens, see, whenever we get an information, we go to the brothel and it's the customers only who gives that information. Varna kaun hame information dega. So what happens, generally I have not found anybody arresting the customers. Always, agar brothel mein raid padta hai, you run to the brothel, your first intention is to rescue the victim. You will never think ki iska customer kaun tha. You will never think. It never happens. Like personally with me, it has never happened that I have gone to a brothel and I wanted to search a girl, because things happen in the fraction of a second. So if I saw in Delhi, the brothels are in the, like it's number wise, 56, 57, 58. So there were 104 brothels earlier in Delhi. So brothel is basically a room, like not even this kind of a room, half of this room. So there are 94 brothels now, as of now, till the last time I had gone there. So, and in each room, there will be at least 35 to 40 women who will be kind of auctioned ki like, aap kisko pasand karna chahte ho, pasand karo de. So what happens when you go into the brothel, the first thing that you think is like, ki ladki uthao aur bhago. Kyunki they will try to attack you from any angle. They will try to put blades. Meerut mein ye hai ki chili powder, they will put chili powder on you, they will put warm water on you. Delhi mein bahut hota hai, blade maar dete hain. Kyunki aap rescue karne gaye ho. Fir uske baad, so what your intention is that ladki nikalna. Never has anybody thought that ki customer ko pakre. Kyunki at that point of time, your foremost concern is to kind of save that girl. Because the family is there. Family bolti hai ki, bas ladki utha lo, hame to case bhi nahi karna. Most of the family don't even want to do a case, because if they do a case, bar the court will call them. So the moment the court calls them, घर में जाएगा समन जाएगा, क्यों, किस लिए बुला रहे हैं? दिल्ली में red light area से मिला है लड़की. Nobody will marry that girl. School will not. It's ostracized to such an extent that आपको कभी ये लगेगा ही नहीं कि आप customer ढूंढे. I agree to your point that you say that customers has to be arrested, but people don't think about it. Like I think police should think about it or NGO should think. We have never thought about it that we should actually trap the customers, because ऐसे तो 1000 customers होंगे जिन्होंने उसके साथ rape किया होगा. Then how will you identify them? And the girls don't want to divulge the details of the customers, because most of the time the customers are very good to them. कभी-कभी ऐसा भी होता है, customers try to give them money, customers bring food for them, because maximum customers who generally go to these girls don't torture the girls. They might have sex with the girls, but they don't torture the girls. That's what they say. The maximum number of torture that they get are from the brothel owners, or might be from the FSWs or the kind of madams. Otherwise, they don't have any kind of torture from the customers. The customers will come, have sex and go. Maximum time it happens that the customers don't even want to kind of force themselves upon victims, especially minors. So that is how it is in India. So mostly the victims will always tell you, nahi bhaiya ne to kuch kiya nahi hai. Like that is how, if you kind of counsel the victims will be like, nahi bhaiya to aake phone deke gaye hai aur ghar mein call bhi kiya hai. I'll tell you, my biggest support has been these customers, because maximum informations we get from customers. They will randomly give their phone and the victim will call from those phone. और जब भी phone जाता है तभी आपको पता लगता है. And GB Road is not known as GB Road in Bengal, it's known as GT Road. Everybody says GT Road में. कहाँ है GT Road? 3 मंजिल. GT Road 2 ताला type, like this kind of things they say. So that's how. So how will you think to nab the customers? How can you think to put the customers in jail when you know that they are the biggest support? Because otherwise nobody will support you. Like, and it's impossible to say that, it's impossible for me to believe that the police doesn't know about it. Because if someone from a different state, a minor child has come to a red light area in a brothel, how can the police not know? it is beyond my imagination to think that the police doesn't know. It is just that everyone is kind of together, so this is how it works.
Are the new laws you are referring to POCSO?
What?
Were you referring to POCSO when you say the new laws?
To what?
POCSO.
Is prevention of yeah, I'm not even sure actually. My legal thing is not so clear, but
No, I will just tell you the legal thing.
Very now strong law. Anything below 18 is just statutory rape. So there's no.
Yeah, that I accept completely.
Even if one puts banners saying that, you see when somebody goes to a brothel, they don't think they're committing a crime. Right?
Yeah.
And with adult people, you might even say, as you said, it's kind of accepted. Maybe it's legal here. So now the thing is that if people know that having sex with a minor girl is such a serious crime that they can go to jail for life. The demand that thing is used to bring down the demand. Just because people will be scared.
See, there.
That will reduce the number.
But that thing happens with people those who are educated. Maximum customers who go to those brothels are generally rickshaw pullers, coolies, bus drivers. Hardly you can see a population of 3 to 5% who are educated go to brothels. They generally, the educated class, don't go to brothels. They might be on the streets and might sneer at them, laugh at them, but the population going to the brothels is very less, educated class of men. You'll always find the lower strata of the society, truck drivers, and that's how they get HIV. If you look at the number of customers going to all the red light areas, you will find that they are always not coming into, they are not the elite ones, they are always uneducated, unaware, and they, if you ask them कि आप कैसे बच्चे के साथ हो सकते हो, अरे आप वहाँ पे थोड़ी ना बच्चे देखते हो, आपको तो लड़की चाहिए. This is the kind of word they use, that you don't care whether it's a child or wo. You just want a girl, and mostly they go in addicted kind of like drugs, or maybe they have so much of alcohol. They are not in their right frame of mind. That's how they justify. They say हमारी तो होश ही नहीं रहती कि हम ये भी समझ पाए कि वो बच्ची थी या बूढ़ी थी. Like this is how they say. हम तो हमेशा रात को इतना दारू पी लेते हैं और जाते हैं कि हमें कुछ समझ ही नहीं आता. We just see that it's a girl. So in that condition, when the customer is not even aware, then how can you expect that the customer will know this, that it's a rape that he is doing, he or she. So that is one big thing. So trafficking has 3 phases. First is the recruitment. So recruitment doesn't mean that, So there are 3 phases. One is recruitment and abductions. अब trafficking में recruitment और abduction 2 तरफ की चीज होती है. एक होता है कि आपको kidnap कर लिया, रास्ते में आप जा रहे हो, आपके ऊपर एक चुन्नी फेंक दिया और आपको उठा लिया, और by the time आपने आँख खोला तो you are in a brothel. That is abduction. अब recruitment ऐसा होता है कि आपको मिल गए ट्रेन में कोई दोस्त, अब मेरे पास कोई कमाने का जरिया नहीं है, मैं क्या करूँ, चलो ठीक है बॉम्बे चलते हैं, किसी के घर में तुम काम पे लग जाना, तुम्हें अच्छा पैसा मिलेगा. So that is recruitment. And that you can't completely say that it's forced, because till the time you are recruited, you know that you are recruited. आप किसी के घर में काम करने आए हो, but जैसे ही आप काम करने जाते हो, उसके बाद क्या होता है, it depends on the employer, how he or she kind of violates your right. ऐसा होता है most of the time. I don't know how many of you have watched Crime Patrol or Savdhan India. Savdhan India is like different thing altogether, but Crime Patrol stories are mostly the exact stories that they generally take from us. So in Crime Patrol, or you can see that the moment you are put into anyone's house, first thing they will do is that आपके पास phone होगा तो phone ले लेंगे. They will not allow you to talk to anyone. Second thing, the placement agency, एक तो there are multiple placement agencies in any city. I don't know about Bangalore much, but I've seen thousands of placement agencies in Delhi and more than that in Bombay. But placement, there is no rule of placement agencies. Placement agency act करके कुछ है ही नहीं. They will say that there is. Every placement agency has big calendars, big pamphlets, a lot of things. उसके through they bring girls from Jharkhand, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Orissa. For each girl, they take at least 20,000 token amount, एक लड़की का, और महीने का 10,000. 10,000 में से प्लेसमेंट एजेंट को मिलेगा 2,000, 8,000 मिलेगा लड़की को, और वो लड़की को डायरेक्टली नहीं मिलेगा, लड़की के अकाउंट में जाएगा। अब 1 साल हो गया, 2 साल हो गया, लड़की को घर में जाने नहीं देते। एम्प्लॉयर को मिल गई एक लड़की जो सारा काम करती है, बंधुआ मजदूर, बॉन्डेड लेबर, उसको काम कराते रहो, और उसके बाद जो रिक्रूटमेंट वाला चीज होता है ना, वो क्रिमिनल ऑफेंस हो जाता है, बिकॉज इट्स काइंड ऑफ फोर्स देन। Earlier, you knew that you are recruited in the house, you will go home, you will be able to send money to your family. But after a point of time, you know that you are forced into this thing, you will never be able to go home, you don't know your parents. There was a victim whom I met after 6 years. 6 years, since 6 years, she never went home. The employer took her phone, usko pata nahi hai, and by the time she went back home, she came to know that both her parents were dead. This is how it happens. Then there is this transport and transportation. So transfer happens. It can happen to a person coming from Kolkata to Jharkhand, or maybe Kolkata to Mumbai, or Kolkata to Delhi. So that's how people are transported. आपको बोला जाता है कि आप दिल्ली चलो, आप बॉम्बे चलो, आपको बहुत अच्छा पैसा मिलेगा, आपको अच्छे कपड़े मिलेंगे. The main thing with girls, how they lure girls is like, there is this Uras ka Mela. That's the term that they use in Bengal, saying that they meet girls in that Mela and they become friends. And that is how they are told कि आप बॉम्बे चलो, आपको अच्छा खाने को मिलेगा, अच्छा रहने को मिलेगा. Now imagine, BBC had done a movie known as Missing Daughters. If you Google, you can see that movie. So that movie got an award, BBC One award, which is in BBC with. So in that movie, you see that there is a village in South 24 Pargana. So kilometers and kilometers of water. जब आप एक ऐसे गांव में जाते हो जहाँ पे आपको पत्ते बॉयल करके खाना पड़ता है, और आपको कोई ऐसा बोले कि आप दिल्ली चलोगे, आपको 2 टाइम का खाना मिलेगा, कपड़े पहनने के लिए मिलेगा, you don't think of anything. You just want to get rid of poverty. So in order to get rid of that poverty, you become target of such an organized crime. So, and by the time you realize, and it's so painful that you think that you should give in to this rather than fighting for it, because they will try to torture you with everything possible. They will try to mentally break you down by not just hitting you, beating you, but also abusing you. The first thing that they start is by abusing you. They will lash out all the vulgar words on you. You being a Bengali or you being an Oriya, you don't know what they are saying. First thing, just you know that कोई गाली गलौज हो रहा है हमारे साथ. That you feel. फिर उसके बाद you end up being thrashed. I had the picture of a victim, but I did not want to show because you would not be able to see it. This victim was trafficked from Jharkhand. I had got the call that this particular victim was confined in a house in Vasant Kunj, and the victim was kept confined for a long time. A big journalist had told me this information. I did not pay heed to this news, but she called me once again asking me that you should go to rescue. So I remembered I had gone to the Vasant Kunj police station, and then I forced them to send a police sub-inspector or an inspector, a lady, with me. When I went into that place in Vasant Kunj, I could not identify the house because there are thousands of houses. Finally, I found out the house. I knocked the house. There is this lady, aged around 90. She comes knocking at the door. There were 3 dogs with her. I tell her, can you please open the door? She was like, nahi, meri beti ghar mein nahi hai, main darwaza nahi kholungi. I was like, okay. So I went back on the backyard of the house, and I saw with my own eyes there were a lot of clothes in the backyard, blood clot clothes all over and I saw a naked child running in the house. I was alarmed there. I tried calling up the ACP, DCP and everyone. I tried calling. Finally they came. The lady did not come. By that time, a lot of people gathered in that place. This was one of the biggest rescue operations done by me, and every news channel had covered it. It was in the year 2013. When her daughter came around 9 o'clock. They opened the door. We went inside, and by that time I had got serious informations from everyone around the house, where people told me that the child was beaten with chains, dog chains, a lot of things. When I entered inside the house and go, I see a small kid of around hardly 16-year-old girl, cross-legged sitting. I could not identify her. It appeared to me like an 80-year-old girl. Her one ear was completely falling, the other ear had completely infection, and I cannot explain. We somehow rescued that girl and went to the Safdarjung hospital. So that time, the doctors were not ready to allow me to enter in the emergency. I had to shout at them, then they allowed me. When I went inside, the doctors, first thing they asked me was like, "ये 80 साल की बुढ़िया आप कहाँ से पकड़ के लाई हो?" And then I told them that it's not an 80-year-old woman, it's a 16-year-old girl. Then they saw the girl. Every department that I had taken that child to told me of the grievous injuries she had. Skull bone was broken and a lot of XYZ that I would not like to tell. But the main issue that I had was there, the ignorance from the doctors. The way they handle a traffic victim. And this is not something which I have faced in Safdarjung. I faced it in AIMS, I faced it in Ram Manohar Lohia, I faced it in LNGP, all the biggest hospitals of Delhi, where definitely I would not blame the doctor because they have erratic working hours, they would not like to treat a victim. But their level of awareness about this whole concept of bonded labor or trafficking, either they are not aware, or even if they are aware, they don't want to address this issue. This particular victim finally healed in 1 month. Lot of journalists from AFP, lot of journalists from Al Jazeera, they told me that, Pallavi, don't stay with this girl in the hospital because you will get infected, because she was completely infected. If 2 days she would have died. But finally she recovered, the child recovered. By that time the WCD ministers and everybody intervened, she recovered. But the tragic part, the lady who had kept this child was the communications head of one of the biggest companies of Switzerland. She was her employee, and she was put in jail for 3 months. The Metropolitan Magistrate of Patiala House Court did not allow her to go for bail. But after 6 months, when I followed up the case, I was regularly in touch with victim. I came to know that the judge has let that lady go free. Why? Because everyone turned hostile. The victim turned hostile, and when I went for deposition in front of the court, they told me कि आप तो झूठ बोल रहे हो, आप तो बना के बोल रहे हो. The whole statement changed. The reports that I had made, 200 pages report of all the injuries she had, that was given to the police file, and then in the judiciary, that's missing. That's not there. And by that time, they had delayed the case to such an extent that the girl was a Santhali girl. In 2 years, she forgot Hindi. When she gave statement, she was well aware of Hindi because she was in Delhi. But after the rescue, after 1 month, she went back to Chhattisgarh. So she doesn't know Hindi anymore. So it's very easy to say that उसने जो भी कहा था वो झूठ है. So can you imagine the kind of how the judiciary works in this country? Like, you delay a case and the victims tend to forget everything. So that is how it is. It's very difficult for you to kind of go on pursuing a case again and again, because at the end of the day, everyone will turn hostile. Even you are the main person who is following up the case, and you end up becoming the criminal. Like, you are doing this for some malafide intention of yours. That's how it works. So this is something I would like to say about what is the warning signs of an individual involved with a trafficking gang. First is, you will see that there are a lot of schools and colleges which kind of nowadays has started evolving as trafficking gangs, in which small kids are given money and they try to lure other kids. So what they will do, how will you identify that that small child is kind of a part of a trafficking gang? First thing is that you will see that the child may have a lot of injuries. But that is not always the case. But most of the times you will see that the child will have a lot of injuries like cut marks, burn marks, this kind of thing. Then you will see suddenly the dress that the child used to wear will become short and kind of revealing, exposed. And also the innocence of the child will slowly and gradually start getting vanished. Like, you will find the child always to be depressed, withdrawn, sitting on the corner, doesn't talk to anybody, doesn't interact with anybody. And main thing is money, because nowadays children like to use a lot of phones, iPads, and all those expensive jewelries, clothes, this kind of things. So it's very easy to lure them, and you lure them by telling them that you will give them a money so that they can do whatever they want. Then you will see tattoos. Tattoos is one of the biggest things by which you can identify. You will see mostly kids will have tattoos all over their body, on the back of their ear. So I had a victim who had tattoos all over her body, like on her ear, on her neck, on her hands, legs. This is how they kind of, and it's kind of a telling, it is also kind of telling the other person that you are easily identifiable. Because if you look like a normal child, then the other people cannot identify you. But it's, yeah.
I see a lot of stereotypes here rather than facts. Sorry, but
No, yeah. Obviously, you see. This I am saying as part of my experience. I would not generalize it. Please don't think that it's a general thing. It is because of my experience. That's what I'm saying. Whatever I had experienced personally, that is what I am telling you. It's not like this is not the correct thing. So don't think like that. Yeah. So anti-trafficking laws. I don't know how many of you are aware about anti-trafficking laws. Not aware. So basically, Section 370 is something that the IPC had started saying that any victim who is trafficked, you have to find out the facts and figures, and whenever an FIR is lodged, you kind of tell the police officer to put Section 370, because under Section 370, there is no chance that a perpetrator will be scot-free. The perpetrator will get a minimum of 7 years to life imprisonment. Always. There is always a chance that once Section 370 is put, you will be, if the court find you guilty, you will be given an punishment of 7 years, minimum 7 years. And it has happened in 7 to 8 cases of my own personal cases, like where I had rescued the victims, that they got 7 years of punishment along with the closure of the brothel. Brothel is the particular room where the victim was found during the rescue. Then there is this Section 366A, which prohibits kidnapping. So if you are found guilty of 366A, you will get a maximum of 10 years of imprisonment and a fine. The fine may start from 10,000 to 1 lakh to 2 lakh, depending on the agravity of the crime. Section 372 is also there. So these are the certain laws which is for, these are the anti-trafficking laws. So if you kind of come across any victims, and if you feel that you want to do an FIR and help the victim, then these are the few laws that you kind of can approach.
So can we tell the police that it should be this section? Like,
Yeah, you can. If you have a knowledge of the law, you definitely can. Because what
if the police says no?
No, then that time you need to have the book of the law. Like what happens generally.
If the police is saying that no, they were not going to do this. Do I have any way in which I can?
Yeah,
This guy said no.
Main thing is that you have to talk to the victim and find out 5-6 bullet points of the crime that has happened with her. Tally the crime with the law. The moment you tally the crime with the law, you will be easily able to figure out under which law, which IPC dhara kitna laga sakte hain on the crime. Because you, first of all, it is very important that you talk to the victim. And you clearly tell, and it's always good that a victim ka statement lo, statement leke victim ko पढ़ के सुनाओ और उसका signature लो या फिर उसका thumb impression लो, क्योंकि तब victim मना नहीं कर सकती, पुलिस भी मना नहीं कर सकती. So always make sure आप कभी भी किसी victim को counsel करते हो, तो you have to make the victim understand or narrate or read whatever he or she has said and take her thumb impression and signature, because otherwise the police will not consider you. She will say that आप तो ऐसे ही लगा रहे हो law.
All this happens before you go to the police station? Or
No, you have to always do all this intervention after you go to the police station.
after, first thing you do is take
Rescue. First thing is rescue. The first thing whenever you hear of trafficking case, first thing is that you have to go to the police station, give a requisition for your safety. You have to give a requisition letter to the SHO. Tell the SHO कि मुझे ऐसा information मिला है, मुझे इस area में जाना है, and always write in the letter that never write search operation. Always write based on the information I want to verify. Never write search operation because they will think that आप ही उसको crime बना रहे हो. First thing, when you are going as a rescuer, you have to see your safety first. When you are safe, you can save your victim. That's the first thing. So you have to be very clear about what you write in the letter. You have to be very clear that you write in a way that tomorrow वो ये ना बोल सके कि अरे इन्होंने ही तो पहले से ही crime बना के रख दिया. So then what will happen when you write that letter that I want to verify this particular thing that I have heard information about, then you will go to the brothel, you will search the victim, you find the victim, you bring the victim to the police station. The moment you bring the victim to the police station, you have to counsel her. If you are a man, always get a woman to counsel her. Because नहीं तो वहाँ पे charge लगा देंगे कि भैया ने मेरे साथ कुछ कर दिया. This is what happens generally. You have to counsel her. उसको counseling कराने के बाद, police will register. That's 161. Then you have to go to the police station. पहले पता करना होगा उसके साथ कुछ abuse हुआ है, नहीं हुआ है. अगर abuse हुआ है, तो उसको गायनी कराने जाओ, which is known as MLC in any hospital. उसका MLC कराओ. MLC कराने के बाद अगर पता चलता है no, nothing happened, ठीक है, कुछ नहीं. If the child is a minor, then the opinion of the child doesn't matter. If the child is a major, then you have to take her opinion, his or her opinion, but otherwise, after that, when the FIR is lodged, you have to sit with the police and then you have to say, ये भी, उसने ये भी बोला है, उसने ये भी बोला. It's a long process. It takes minimum of 2-3 days per victim. So,
Police willing to actually go with you?
Yeah, police, I'm telling you, police helps you throughout the process because without the police, you can't do anything.
But without the police, I mean, if the police were doing their job, this wouldn't.
Yeah, but then that is also a kind of thing that you will not be able to understand. Like I personally could not understand till now because whenever I have gone to rescue a victim, police were there with me throughout. During medical, lady constable होती है. During MLC, lady constable होती है. Witness कराने में lady constable होती है. But problem ये है कि when the child was trafficked or put in the brothel or anywhere, child labor किसी के घर में, that time what happens, the lower people don't know about it or are not aware about it. Generally, अगर आपके थाने के jurisdiction में कुछ crime हो रहा है तो generally it will be the station house officer or the ACP or the DCP who knows about everything. Beat constables तो कुछ कर ही नहीं सकते ना because and you see everybody gets money. That's how it works. Like everybody is in connivance. सबको पैसा मिलता है तो क्या करेंगे? And till the time me being a person from representing an organization or maybe someone, a lawyer, police would not intervene. खुद से कुछ नहीं करेंगे. You have to make the police work. That is how it is. Police will not do anything. So basically the anti-trafficking agencies, so every city has an anti-human trafficking unit. Every city, which will be led by an ACP, then by sub-inspectors, inspectors, constables. Every city has anti-human trafficking units who will actually help you in cracking trafficking cases. You can see in Bangalore also, there will be HTU units. Then there is this SSB, CMABL, which also tries to conduct different kind of workshops and awareness programs. The main people, those who try to rescue victims of any kind of trafficking are the NGOs. The non-governmental organizations help a lot in kind of rescuing victims because generally a parent doesn't go to any police officer. डर के मारे वो किसी भी थाने में नहीं जाते because it's not accessible. Like I can say in Delhi, it's very easy to call up the the commissioner of police or SHO. But if you look at Kolkata or Assam, like I am from Assam, if you look at, you can't talk to a constable also. The way they talk, you will be scared. But in Delhi, it's easily approachable. If you go to Bombay also, you can directly call the SHO. So वो डरते हैं पुलिस से. So इसीलिए वो first approach होता है NGO. They go to the NGO. बोलेंगे NGO को सारी बात. फिर NGO is the first medium. NGO जाएगी पुलिस थाने में. NGO जाके will help you in kind of. And also there is a big challenge of language. Because we are not aware about the local language of that place. तो अगर हम जाते हैं तो हम क्या बात करेंगे पुलिस से कि मेरी बेटी मिसिंग है, आप तो हिंदी में भी बोल नहीं सकते. तो how you are trying to approach the police? Language plays a big barrier. So how can this be improved? Trafficking of Persons Prevention, Protection and Rehabilitation Bill 2018. This was something very interesting. If this bill was passed, then all kind of aggravated forms of trafficking will be criminalized. Not yet. Like, it's still pending. It's not yet. Not all. Like, जैसे होता है trafficking, तो trafficking doesn't mean only prostitution or trafficking doesn't mean only bonded labor. Child labor नहीं है. अभी भी child labor में जनरली क्या होता है, काउंसलिंग के बाद अगर पता चलता है कि मालिक ने मुझे रखा, मारा नहीं, पीटा नहीं, छोड़ दो मालिक को, तो क्या होता है, द मालिक इज स्कॉट फ्री, द मालिक विल अगेन एम्प्लॉय समबडी. तो इस तरह से ऑल काइंड्स ऑफ ट्रैफिकिंग इज नॉट criminalized. Prostitution is, bonded labor is, and bonded labor also it depends. Like what kind of bonded labor? अगर सिर्फ आटा बेलना हुआ या फिर किताबें साफ करना हुआ, नहीं. Bonded labor होगा अगर हाँ. Yeah. Prostitution is, and main thing is that trafficking is not yet considered as one of the heinous crimes. If you look at the 8 or 9 heinous crimes, where you have riot, where you have murder, all these kind of things, heinous crimes, trafficking has still not been recognized as a heinous crime by the Constitution of India, which is itself a big thing, because if you don't recognize this kind of a crime as a heinous crime, then how do you think the punishment will also be? Yeah. Yeah. So, first of all, I would like to tell you is that whenever you get a victim, the first thing that you need to do with the victim is that you need to counsel the victim and tell the victim that you are there for the victim. Because you will see there is 0% of trust in the victim. Because it's always their known people who have trafficked them. Bhaiya, Jijaji, Didi. So they don't trust you. First is that you have to win the trust of the victim. Second thing is that you have to kind of shift the mind of the victim by trying to tell him or her something different, so that mentally the victim is little bit cooled down, so that the victim will tell his or her ordeal later. But you can't just usi time rescue hone ke baad hi you can't say that acha tumhare sath kya hua bolo. You never do that. You generally, the moment you rescue the victim, we try to give the victim food. First thing we do, because most of the victims who are rescued, उनको खाना नहीं मिला होता है 3-4 दिन से. You have to give them food. Then you have to tell them you take bath, wear proper clothes. Then you have to say, और बताओ, like the conversation has to change. Like और बताओ कैसे हुआ, क्या हुआ तुम्हारे साथ. Then the victim will kind of tell you all the details. But when you look about rehabilitating victims, main is promoting education, and I think promoting education is a big thing. It is very difficult to promote education in the sense that education in small cities are not the way education is in this part of the country. If you look at UPs who had gone to UP, there are a lot of schools where there are no leave about uniforms, there are no proper books. So how will you educate the victim? How will you educate someone? And no books, no uniforms, no shoes. There are schools, those who are dilapidated, they are falling. Headmaster is in leave for 6 months in CCL. How? The biggest problem of trafficking, the reason why trafficking is growing alarmingly is education. लोगों को पता ही नहीं है trafficking क्या है. आधे लोग जब trafficking बोलते हो लोगों को लगता है signal, traffic signal thing. That is the main thing. People don't know. Second thing is that health issues. They have enormous health issues because of no proper hygiene, sanitation. They have all those food, they get all kinds of diseases. If you look at West Bengal or Orissa and all that, there are so much of crimes happening that you will always see a health challenges on the victims. So it's no way possible. The first way to rehabilitate victim is to give them education, proper education. Second is you have to look after the health. And how you look after the health? By telling the parents not to have so many children, which is not possible. But if there is no population explosion, then I think you can try to get rid of this health thing. And then skill development. Try to engage as much as people we can by giving them skills. Skills doesn't mean only skills of coming to a place or learning some computer application. In your own village also, start some cottage industry, start something. Try to empower people, try to make them get involved in something. बच्चों का दिमाग अगर विकास में लगाना है, then you have to involve them in any skill in the village. And this will start from the village. I feel each one of us can do a lot of things. We just have to be little bit aware. हमारे आसपास इतने crimes चलते रहते हैं, हमें पता ही नहीं होता. We are not aware. So one day what I did is that I traveled from Vishwavidyalaya is a railway metro station in Delhi. From Vishwavidyalaya to, you can say, Rohini, and everyone I was seeing in the metro was using phone. Everyone, either playing or doing something. We are so engrossed in ourselves, and I'm not saying about everyone, I'm saying about, this includes me also, that we don't think about what is happening आसपास क्या हो रहा है. So I think if we're a little aware, then I think we can do a lot of things. No, tell me.
But so the responsibility of rehabilitation lies on the state.
Yes. First thing on the state, every state should have a proper rehabilitation policy. Delhi had this whole thing of rehabilitation and repatriation, under which they were giving something known as victim compensation. Delhi Legal Services Authority had started giving compensation, victim compensation, but the problem is that by the time they give the victim compensation, it's so late that the victim doesn't want it anymore. Either the victim is not in touch or the victim is no more a victim. So this is how it.
So what is the machinery that ensures this?
First thing is the police. The police have to make sure that the case is filed properly. Second thing is that they have to approach the local panchayat, या जो भी गांव होता है तो पंचायत and all. अगर कोई city होता है, then the local जो body होता है, they have to do that. Then they have to write the state. You know, in West Bengal there is something known as Kanyashri Yojana करके. It's very less. 500 rupees is given to a victim, to a survivor. But वो भी बहुत कम है. The main thing is that pocket money. Most of the time, the kids don't have money to even buy a pen and a pencil or a paper. तो वो क्या करेंगे? So they have to skip education. And another problem is that having siblings. The whole thing of भाई बहनों को देखना. By the time she is 16, she will have one kid. She becomes a mother. इधर एक भाई, इधर एक बहन. So lack of love. This is also another reason for a person to get trafficked.
My question was more on, like, is there a certain body
You have to go to the state, and in order to go to the state, you have to go, first of all, you have to go to the local body, and then you have to approach the NGOs.
Sure, okay, so the NGOs.
Yeah, NGOs.
I'm asking if there's like a state body, which, a set, let's say, which is responsible for addressing this, and I think the answer is no.
No, you can't say no. You have to read through every state has policies for women and child. It varies. One is the India's one and one is the state-wise. You have to read that. You have to go through a person who is well aware about it, either through a lawyer or through an NGO, because अगर directly state के पास जाएंगे वो बोलेंगे ऐसा कुछ है नहीं. There are a lot of yojanas, there are a lot of welfare schemes, but we are not aware about it. So you need to approach through the right direction. Always have to go with someone who is a little bit firm. आप किसी के साथ भी चले जाओगे तो it doesn't work. Okay. So what can we do about human trafficking?
One more thing.
Yeah.
The responsibility of rehabilitation goes to the NGO or the state?
State. NGO is the mediator. NGO will help you to get the rehabilitation.
So for rehabilitation, what do the state do?
The state tries to find out what is the kind of crime that has happened with you, first thing. Second thing is that the state will try to understand that whatever crime has been done with you, उसके अंदर क्या rehabilitation दिया जा सकता है तुमको. It depends. Like they generally what they will do is that the moment it goes to जैसे child welfare committee होता है जो बच्चों के लिए, तो the child will be brought in front of the child welfare committee, counseling कराएंगे. फिर वो लोग देखेंगे कि इस बच्चे को क्या किया जा सकता है. Schools में admission देते हैं. First thing for a kid, they do it. Second thing वो क्या करते हैं, वो school के जो principal है उसको बोलेंगे कि पता करो कि इसके पिताजी क्या करते हैं. If the पिताजी is poor, उसको किस तरह किसी काम में डाल सकते हैं. स्कूल्स में ऐसे हो सकता है कि अगर उसको घर में खाना नहीं मिलता तो आप देख सकते हो कि स्कूल से कितना मील्स उसको प्रोवाइड किया जा सकता है, नोटबुक्स उसको प्रोवाइड किया जा सकता है. फिर पॉकेट मनी का भी डिफरेंट स्कीम्स है, डिफरेंट स्टेट में डिफरेंट स्कीम्स है. पॉकेट मनी के लिए बुक्स खरीदने के लिए, फिर
There is an institution as such.
yeah.
Takes care of it.
Yeah, you have to go to the particular state website. जैसे वेस्ट बंगाल का हो गया, I think Neil, I forgot the name, but if you go to every state, you will find that health के लिए अलग है, education के लिए अलग है. There are many things, but you have to be aware to reach that thing particular. Okay, so what we can do? How can we try to help a traffic victim? First is that we have to raise awareness about human trafficking. अब हमें पता कैसे लगेगा वो trafficked है, पहली बात. If you see something little bit absurd with any child, first thing is that you have to ask the kid. Like this is what I have done till now. This is my personal thing I have done. I asked the kid कि आप रहते कहाँ हो, आप खाते क्या हो. ऐसे करके I had found 2-3 kids in the near the Humayun's tomb area of Delhi, Nizamuddin. यहाँ पे बच्चे ड्रग्स ट्रैफिकिंग में इन्वॉल्व थे. तो आप पूछते हो क्या करते हो, कहाँ रहते हो, क्या खाते हो. फिर you have to find out. You have to find out in which condition they stay. Are they living in a proper condition, or are they staying with rack pickers, or they are staying with any kind of dalal who is kind of sending them for begging and all. Then you have to ask the kid कि आपको कोई freedom है, because मानसिक freedom is the biggest freedom. Mansik freedom is the first thing that the traffickers try to snatch from you. You are not allowed to go anywhere. You are not allowed to talk with anyone. You are not allowed to sit with anyone. All these things. These are basic things. This is my personal experiences. If you want, I can elaborate. Otherwise, I cannot just say it. Yeah. So what we can do if we see anybody who is trafficked? First thing is that we have to figure out, we have to understand. Agar a victim, एक incident I'll tell you. This incident came in Crime Patrol like 2-3 years back. So there was this girl who was traveling from Rajasthan to Delhi. उसको बस में एक लड़की मिली. This girl was one of my colleague. उसको बस में एक लड़की मिली जो बहुत काँप रही थी, like literally shivering. So what happened was that this colleague of mine observed her and figured out that something is going wrong. 6 घंटा traveling करने के बाद morning 5 o'clock उसके साथ जो आदमी था वो उतर गया बस से and वो लड़की बैठी थी. So this colleague of mine wanted to start a conversation with that girl. उसने उसको पूछा कि आप कहाँ जा रहे हो? That girl was not saying anything. फिर in the next stop the child said something like पता नहीं. Then my colleague found out that there must be something going on wrong. उसने क्या किया, वहाँ के local NGO को, local पुलिस को और NGO को बताया. So जब वहाँ के पुलिस को बताया गया, they came, they counseled the girl and they got to know that this girl was told by her brother-in-law कि आप ऐसे bus stop में चले जाओ, ऐसे भैया मिलेंगे, आपको इधर ले जाएंगे, उधर ले जाएंगे, ऐसे करके. So this is how trafficking happens. So if you feel that you have seen somebody who you feel you suspect like कुछ गड़बड़ है, always try to find out, not by just asking. Like most of the times we know that हम दूसरों के problem में क्यों पड़े type. This is our attitude. It's not just with everyone. It's just with everyone. We always feel कि दूसरों का problem है हम क्यों फंसेंगे. But you know, by at least trying to find out or asking, you can help a lot. That's what I personally think, because this is how I have trafficked. I have rescued a lot of children. That's the thing.
So you call the local police station?
No, I never call the local police station. Because I have to always get an NGO involved. Because if I call the local police station, I'm very sure that जो trafficker है, उसको पैसा खिला देगा and the victim will not be rescued. So आपको पहले पता करना होगा. आपको generally people always approach through an NGO, because जैसे NGO involved हो जाएगा, NGO will try to document it. Document करके they will try to get the local newspaper. फिर जैसे ही media will come, things will just change. This I have observed in Nirbhaya's incident. Every incident that I have worked, I have always seen that it's the media that plays the biggest role. The moment media is involved, everyone's behavior changes. So I think you have to, yeah.
Just curious, so like people like you, activists and people who are actively involved in NGOs and all to rescue people out of trafficking, like there must be some kind of mafia or something. Are you guys like
Yeah. It happens. You get regular threatenings.
So how do you read?
See, with my personal experience, if I tell you, we don't follow the same vehicle. जैसे अगर मैं threatening के पहले मैं बस में आती थी या मेट्रो में आती थी, जैसे ही ट्रैफिक थ्रेटनिंग मिलता है, 2 स्टॉप बस में आई, फिर 3 स्टॉप मेट्रो में आई, फिर ऑटो पकड़ लिया, नंबर्स अलग होते हैं, अपने सारे डिटेल्स फेसबुक में नहीं डालते हो, आपके फेसबुक में किसी और प्रोफाइल होगा, जो मतलब फेस सेम होगा बट आपको जॉब अलग होगा, फिर यू गेट, आई हैव हैड लॉट ऑफ इंस्टेंसेस, विन 30,000 कोड आई हैव गॉट वेरी बैड थ्रेटनिंग्स, लाइक इट्स कॉमन, व्हेन यू आर इन दिस सेक्टर आपको पता चलेगा कि आप सुबह हाथ अपने हथेली पे लेके लिख लो, एनीथिंग कैन हैपन टू यू, बिकॉज इट्स क्वाइट रिस्की, बिकॉज इट्स एन ऑर्गेनाइज्ड क्राइम, स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम एंड you start, your face becomes familiar, like my face, because now I've shifted to Bangalore, but earlier my face was very, very familiar in Delhi. It was like, the moment I used to go to that Kamla Market police station, the Delhi's red light area police station, they used to know that ki koi to Bengali ladki hai. The moment, so if you just go to Kamla Market police station and if you go to Delhi's red light area, you will see there is a big tree और वहाँ पे एक कैमरा होता है. The moment they see the camera, all the Bengali girls are missing from all the brothels. सबको hideouts में डाल देंगे, because they think that I have come to rescue a Bengali girl. Because, and you also have to be very careful while you go to the police station. If you see a shakha bola, that is the Bengali women wear, if you see that, आपको पता लग जाएगा कि कोई Bengali लड़की. If people wear green churi, Marathi लड़की. So these are kind of things that the traffickers are very, very aware. You have to be very careful. And I personally tell you, without the help of the informers, it would be very difficult to rescue victims. And the informers are mostly customers, friends, and all that. Unka bhi.
Sorry.
हाँ, tell me.
These are things that you do on your part to be cautious. But I'm also trying to understand, like, if the institution is involved in your safety and like.
See, with me, no. I would say that no, it did not. Kind of. I was told to take a licensed pistol, but I did not. But 2-3 times attacks has happened on me. Like one of the famous Nepali brothels of Delhi, like I got bashed out on the hand and all that because I was wearing a shirt, white shirt, so that got torn. And then that was one incident that happened with me. After that, they decided that, okay, fine. Then the police came to know about it, and then it was told that in 6 months, if anything happens to me, then that particular brothel will be seized. ऐसा हुआ था. फिर in 30,000 court also, it happened. Like openly आपको वो जो कोटे का जो दल्ला है, वो आपको चाकू दिखा देगा, पिस्टल दिखा देगा. This is common scene. It's like, because it's as a layman or as an audience, you will not be able to comprehend or understand it. Like when you come here, it's like, and you know, it's very easy to earn money. It's very easy to earn money if you are working in this sector, because they will try to lure you with everything possible. In Diwali, they will send all kind of sweets, wine, and all expensive things and tell you ki band kara do rescue operation, madam, ye kara do, wo kara do. But then you have to be tough. Otherwise, it's not possible. It's very difficult. Yeah. Completely illegal. In India, it's completely illegal, but I say it's illegal. Because वो तो openly चल ही रहा है, और आप तो फिर भी दिल्ली brothel is accessible. मैं आपको बताऊँ, आप मेरठ भी accessible है. आप इलाहाबाद चले जाओ, इतना accessible नहीं है. आप नागपुर चले जाओ, it's not there. And सोनागाछी is impossible. So if you go to West Bengal's red light area, आपका तो दिमाग खराब हो जाएगा, because there is this particular organization working outside Sonagachi, which is working for legalizing prostitution. But there is this particular organization that is working to legalize prostitution, and they have their reasons, which is correct according to them. And I don't, their opinions, I don't disagree with them, because everybody has the right to have opinions. But if you go to Sonagachi, you will feel that, theek hai, you have to legalize prostitution. But why don't you understand that the first way, if it is legal also, it's illegal, right? Because you get victims how? आप उनको lure करके लाते हो. कितने ऐसे बच्चे हैं या औरतें हैं जिनको आप बोलते हो कि आपको ये काम कराएंगे, आप आएंगे. No women, at least in my experience, ने बोला है कि मुझे ये काम करने में अच्छा लगता है. No women. I had a woman in Meerut who was found by me, and we arrested that woman. I was so upset. Her son was studying in Welhams in Dehradun. Her daughter was studying in Sophia College. Can you imagine? And these people, their children, their families, the way they live, the way they survive, those madams, you will not believe that these women are traffickers or madams, because their outside world and outside life is very different. That's how it is. And it's all do numberi paisa. It's not possible, because see, A police inspector, according to the Delhi thing, the last time I was in Delhi, a police inspector का salary है 68,000, कांस्टेबल का होगा 28,000. 68,000 में आपके पास 3 से 4 गाड़ी, 3 से 4 फॉरेन ट्रिप्स आप कैसे कर सकते हो? It's not possible. And the government of India doesn't give you that much of money. So how you do it? How is it possible? And then the madams, because I was so much in support of the police at one point of time, the madams, you know what they did? Once I went into the brothel, they called me and took me in such a corner where I myself saw a police officer counting notes inside, lying down on the bed counting notes. So there are innumerable episodes, but you have to keep yourself anonymous because you are there. If you can save one life also, that matters. So yeah, I have rescued a lot of victims. Some of them have got married. Some of them are doing really well. Some of them, now I am associated with an organization which is working to stop second generation prostitution and pimping. They are working in Delhi's red light area only. The mothers of the children of the sex workers stay in that shelter home. So there is this lady, she has been working since the last 25 years to stop second generation prostitution. Second generation prostitution ऐसे जैसे, if I am a sex worker, my daughter will also become a sex worker to stop that. Or I am a sex worker, my son is going to be a pimp. So that's all. और sex worker अपने लड़कियों को कभी अपने साथ नहीं रखती. They never keep them because जैसे ही बच्ची बड़े होना शुरू हो जाती है ना, pimp का आँख उस पे पड़ेगा, किसको भी डालो इसमें. So they try to keep the child aloof. Second thing is that for a sex worker, being mother is the biggest boon. So उसको जब पता चल जाता है कि nobody will marry me or maybe I will not be able to have the normal life, so let me have kids. So you will see most of the sex workers have kids, those who stay in their own families or in the गाँव, and they will never tell people कि वो लोग क्या करते हैं. वो बोलेंगे दिल्ली में काम करते हैं, क्या काम करते हैं नहीं पता. Even in Howrah, I caught so many people, साड़ी पहन के they get into the train, शाम को घर आते हैं, क्या करते? They do this because they don't have money. How will they earn money? The payment is so less, then how we are supposed to do that? Yeah. See, now people are aware. See, trafficking बढ़ रहा है. Trafficking is getting more and more, but people are aware now. Convictions are more. People are more aware. Police is much more supportive. The Ministry of Home Affairs has taken a very big step by criminalizing all this kind of trafficking thing. Second thing is that NGOs, there are huge number of NGOs. In Delhi, there are around 20 to 25 NGOs working. There is International Justice Mission. There is a very good organization in Hyderabad, Prajwala, that's working for curbing human trafficking. Then there is International Justice Mission. There is Justice and Care. Lot of NGOs are there. And also now newspapers. Like if you look at Times of India ka Kolkata edition, A. Shomoy, they are writing on trafficking. You have NDTV doing a lot of stories. You have Siddharth doing a lot of stories on human trafficking cases. You have a lot of writers. You have Kishalaya Bhattacharya was the NDTV person. He's writing a lot of things. And now we have the support of a lot of people in curbing trafficking, you can say that. It's increasing because basic reason is lack of jobs. If there is no, see, we are educated, so we are in a reputed institute or we are working somewhere, but think about a person from a village. उसके पास ना education है, ना उसके पास कुछ है. He also wants to live a lavish life, right? वो कैसे करेगा? उसको नौकरी नहीं मिलेगी और आजकल नौकरी मिलने में बहुत मुश्किल है. Government jobs, quota and all that. कैसे उसको नौकरी मिलेगा? So this is one thing. Second thing is that illiteracy. Education नहीं है तो पता क्या है? लोगों को they are not aware कि ये गलत है, सही है, बस कर लो. This is one thing. And also lifestyle. Lifestyle, that's a very big thing आजकल. हाँ.
So on your slide you mentioned
कुछ
you mentioned like you want to volunteer. Volunteer get involved with the local activities.
in your area. So if
What are those locally in Bangalore?
Bangalore, I can tell you in Bangalore, as of now, there is not much concrete organization. For me, I have not found out.
Is the problem as bad in Bangalore as well?
Not much. Bangalore is in a better position, I'll tell you. Like, as of now, if I have rescued around 500 victims, then I get only 3 victims from Bangalore. Maximum is from West Bengal, maximum first. Second is Andhra,
No. I mean like as a center of trafficking.
No, not much. Because what happens, Bangalore, the crowd is educated crowd. You will have people from Karnataka, Tiptur, Hubli, then all those places, interior parts of Mysore. If you look at only Bangalore, nahi. No, you will not. But if you look at Delhi, yes. If you look at Bombay, yes. But if you look at Bangalore only, then it will not be. You can say outskirts of Bangalore.
No, because I'm trying to understand because I'm from Pune.
Okay.
Pune has a big problem.
Yeah. Pune, I tell you, Pune is because I have a lot of, there is a designated brothel, Pune ki ladki aati hai in Delhi. And in what you call Falkland Road, there is a particular brothel जहाँ पे आपको सिर्फ पुणे की लड़कियाँ मिलेगी. It is because, you know why? Because of the way people look at it. Because यहाँ पे क्या होता है, Bangalore में people are quite educated. Like if you look at the population here, यहाँ पे, you'll see all IT people, all of them are educated, all of them have all the amenities and they earn quite a lot. But Delhi में ये नहीं है. Delhi में the Punjabi girls, I've seen a lot of Punjabi girls getting involved into massage parlors. I've seen a lot of what you call Punjabi girls getting into this whole thing of how to say it, young girls as less as 24 years getting away with IPS officers for pocket money. That is not trafficking. That is a kind of like prostitution in a different way. But then that is how it is. Like if you compare Bangalore, Bangalore is in a better position. That I can say. And that is also a personal thing. I am not telling it in a generalist way.
Because I was talking to somebody and he said there's no, prostitutes in Bangalore especially.
No. We can't say no prostitutes in Bangalore. There might be. So, there is no designated area. Yeah, he is correct. There is no. There.
And hence it's probably worse off.
Yeah. So yeah. You that I agree. Because in Delhi क्या होता है, शादरा पूरा proper है, रोहिणी पूरा proper है, फिर आप GB रोड देख लो, फिर आप वो क्या बोलते हैं, dot of places in Delhi जो एक proper है. Bangalore में designated है, that's a bigger risk because it can operate from any household, right? आपको पता ही नहीं पड़ रहा है.
Yes.
हाँ, आपको पता नहीं पड़ रहा है. हाँ? Yeah, I agree with you because when Indranagar, yeah, I have heard about Indranagar, but as of now, I have not had, like there is no particular organization that's operating in Bangalore for me to actually intervene, but other places, but Bangalore is in a bigger risk because, you know, there is no designated area. So, अगर designated area है तो कहीं पे भी it's there, no, you don't know. So, because home-based prostitution बहुत है, like so.
End or any last comments? Whether you want to make?
No, nothing.
Okay, let's thank her for being here.
Thank you very much. I'm Aditya. Thank you very much for your I was